Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to reduce the number of sides on a cylinder. This might be for an object you've already created, and you're creating like a LOD model for a game, so you need to reduce them or optimize them for render, whatever the case may be. And let's just go ahead and jump into edit mode. I'm going to be using a couple different selection methods here. So check or deselect is going to be one. We're going to be using more. We're going to be doing edge loops, edge rings, and we may be doing boundary loop. I don't know yet. With that in mind, we can get started by selecting one edge, selecting edge rings, right? It'll give us this kind of a result here. Move on quick favorites, check or deselect. And you can see it selects every other one, right? Well, it's selecting my seam right now. I don't want that. So I'm going to offset it by 1, switch it over. Now I can select edge loops, and it's going to do this number. So every other one is selected now. I can press X and dissolve edges. You'll notice it doesn't mess the UV map up or anything, so it works out quite well. And this can become pretty fast if you get used to doing it. And it's not such a big deal, right? So you can reduce things fairly quickly, right? It's a lot better than going around and clicking each one, right? Now you can also reduce these, but these are a little bit more problematic. For starters, I don't want to accidentally select this seam here. And for this object, it's fairly simple. I can just select the faces, grow the selection by 1. If you don't know what grow selection does, is it does that number, right? And I'm going to press H and just hide it, okay? That's going to work for this situation, but it won't always work. So if you try to hide things in here in the middle, sometimes they'll pop back into existence, and that the hide feature kind of gets messed up. But for the most part, we'll be all right. So we're going to select one of these, do a ring selection. Now we can select loops. Oops, sorry. We're going to do a check or deselect first. Now select loops. And every other one's selected, just like that. Generally speaking, this is pretty much all you need to do. Unless you really want to keep a certain edge, then you can go back and just deselect those ones, right? So I might want to keep this one here, this one here. That should be okay. So now I can just press X, dissolve edges, like so, right? Same process if you want to keep going. And double check it, make sure we're not getting rid of anything useful. Might keep that one. I get rid of that one. So it takes away a lot of the mundane task of clicking over and over and over again. I can dissolve that now. So it's been reduced fairly well. In edit mode, this face is still hidden, so press Alt H. In object mode, it would still show up. Okay, so just like that, we have reduced this and it's looking a lot better. If you do want to increase the resolution, I'm going to show you that as well. So you're going to add loop cuts by pressing Control R. Instead of sliding it around, just right click. Okay, create all these loop cuts. Now you're going to need to go to Edit Preferences, Add-ons, and look for Loop Tools, enable it, save your preferences. You'll have this little circle option. We're about to use that in a second. First, I just want to select rings, select loops, go to Loop Tools, and do circle. And it usually gets this right, no problems. Sometimes you might have issues, but and just like that, we're creating a more resolution here now. So we can keep doing this. Fortunately, might have to run around and do this number a few times. Or if you want to skip that, can mouse wheel up. takes a little bit, but shouldn't have to UV map again. And that's the point. You can see like so. Okay. Select rings, loop tools, circle, just like that. So you can now downscale and upscale your resolution on your cylinder objects. If you have additional details on the sides that you've cut it and everything, this won't work as efficiently. You'll have to play around with other tools such as maybe like set flow. There's a link in the description for this one, but you see I can add a loop here, and sometimes you got to go back into object mode, back into edit mode. Then you can right click set flow if you have that add-on. Okay, that's a free add-on. You can go download it, and it should keep the curvature going, so you can have odd and end kind of numbers. Does it work perfect? No, but it helps tremendously on a lot of different shapes. So, all right. Anyways, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see something else specific, kind of, just let me know in the comments. I'll try to get to it when I can. Other than that, thanks for watching and take care. I'll see you in the next one. All right.